Made. Okay. Do our commercial first. Commercial, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GLHF with Matt Heafy. Today's guest is one of my favorite Twitch streamers of all time, Dakotaz. I'm proud to say that I am good buddies with him in real life, and he carries me every time I play with him in Fortnite, like this morning. All these GLHFs are brought to you by my good buddy, John W. Dill, attorney at law. If you're in the States, it doesn't just have to be Florida, please feel free to give him a call or an email. He's a trial lawyer. He has litigated over 200 jury trials, settled over $200 million worth of trials. He is one of my jiu-jitsu partners at Gracie Baja, North Orlando. He also bought me the John Danaher leg lock DVD. So this is a man that knows his stuff. He's all about the manipulation of the leg joints, just as I am. And he is also an incredible lawyer. So please, anything that you need, whether personal injury, medical malpractice, birth injuries, don't hesitate to hit up John W. Dill, who can snap your leg and also represent you in court. Amazing. So yes, today's guest, the legend, Dakotaz. Okay, I got to make sure I've got camera set. Camera is set. Voice activity is on. I will give him a ringu. Is it 3 o'clock? Let's double check. I want to make sure this is right. Check. Yep. Check. Okay. So be ready. Midway through, I'm going to ask for some viewer questions. Maybe we can grab one from anyone who's here. Ringing the man now. Making sure he's good to go, and we'll bring him on, and we'll have some chats. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The man, the myth, the legend. Check one thing real quick. Check. There he is.
There it is.
What's up, man? There's a little bit of a delay, but it's not huge.
Wait, I can fix it. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
No worries. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, now there's probably no delay. Is there a delay?
Nope, it's perfect.
Okay, cool. There we go. Hello.
Hey, good to see you, man. Everybody, welcome to Dakotaz. Let me make sure I get my face off of here, too. There we go. Much better. All right. I'm going to get your volume up just a smidge as well. One second.
I like how I see another angle on you.
Yeah, it's a whole different angle. This thing is confusing. There's so many different spots. I'm trying to find where your volume thing is.
Okay.
There it is. Okay. Can you check your vocals for me real quick?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Perfecto. And we got you on here. We got you here. Bam. There he is. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on GLHF. I hope I'm doing well on this. But so the first thing I want to start with is the thing that I've always wanted to ask you. Yes. When did you pick up video games?
When did I pick up video games?
Mm-hmm.
I picked up video games when I was probably like 4 or something. My older brother played computer.
Oh, shoot. 1 second. I think we lost your audio. No. 1 second. Check it. Check it one more time.
Testing.
There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Okay. I think this Discord freaked out.
Discord lagged. It's trying to stop us.
Okay, there we go. Now we're good. Okay. All right, my apologies. So when problem. Was the first time you ever played games ever?
The first time I ever played games is probably I was like 4, and my older brother. Have you ever heard of Skyrim and like Morrowind and all those games?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he played like the first one called Daggerfall.
I didn't know that was around for that long.
Yeah, it was like really pixely, but it was an open world, and it just got me into gaming. I was like fascinated by it. So
that's awesome. Yeah. When did you realize you had like affinity for like wanting to stream, to want to entertain other people?
Um, well, that didn't happen until I discovered Twitch. I didn't even know that I wanted to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. How old were you when you decided to jump into Twitch? Like what year was that you started up?
I think I was 26. I'm 33 right now. So I mean, I started Twitch in 2012, like way back when it was like you could like customize HTML, like on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like it was old school.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah, it
awesome.
was like there was no donation buttons, there was no alerts, there was nothing. It was just like your camera and your game, that was it.
And War Z was the first game you were streaming, right?
Yes, it was called War Z. Yep.
Can you tell us something about that game? Like tell some of the viewers that may not be familiar with that one.
That game was it was kind of like a survival, like loot and shooter game. It was someone who you may know, Summit 1G. He played that game too. We pretty much like started out on that game, and we were like rivals in that game. We would like battle each other, like it was crazy. And it was
Yeah,
just like a zombie. Like back in like 2012 when zombies like Walking Dead was huge. Like it was all those survival Daisy. It was like one of those type of games. But it was
that's
more
awesome.
it was more PvP oriented.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you first started off like streaming on Twitch, like what kind of viewer counts do you have? Because everybody knows you now is like everybody knows you from Twitch because you're crushing it. You have one of like my personal favorite channels to watch because it's so different. It's like it feels like the kind of place that you can hang out and you genuinely are hanging out, which I think that's why I gravitated towards your channel. That's why everyone in here has as well. But when you first started off, like what were some of the viewer counts? Because people only know them for the way they are now. And like what was it like then?
Back then it was like I don't know if I should look at the camera or just like look.
It's your call. Like I look
Okay.
at you here, so I think
I'm looking at
yeah,
you.
I think I'm looking at you.
Okay, so Twitch was really weird, different back then, not weird. Like I used to go into a channel category like War Z, and there would be like 20 people streaming, and I thought that was like so many people streaming at that time. It was like I thought it was like now you go into Valorant, and there's like millions of people streaming Valorant, but that's what it was like back then. Like 20 people was like a million back then. There's a lot of people streaming, and yeah, just my viewers. My first viewers were people I met in War Z. Like I was like, I'm streaming this game. You know, I was playing with them, so they hung out and they became my mods, and that's how it started. Like this people I met, I would invite to my stream, and then I got raided by some War Z streamers, and people stuck around. They liked my content, so big shout out to. I still remember the people that raided me. Yeti Nation was one of them, and Unity Viet was one of his names. Was one of the names. So I'll never forget them, because that's why I
Yeah.
like to raid small streamers because I'll never forget people raiding me. So
That's the same thing for me with you. I remember on tour when you streamed one of the warm-ups, that just blew my mind. I was like, I've never seen this many people on my channel before. Yeah. And I was already a fan of your channel. So the way you do that, and like you and I have talked about a lot in person, but I'll kind of revisit what we've talked about. But it's so amazing how you support smaller streamers. I mean, you've brought like amazing streamers that people wouldn't have known before. Like you introduced, I feel like the streaming world to Yellow. You introduced the streaming world to Hippie Habitat. Like those guys were already doing their thing, but I feel like because you're so supportive of streamers across all sizes, especially like even me, like you really helped put me on the map where people are like, all right, this guy's legitimately streaming now.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's just so cool that you do that you support people like that.
Yeah, I definitely I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but like I was watching Tfue when he had 30 viewers. We started playing together, and then he started blowing up. I'm not saying because of that, because he's an amazing player and he won tournaments and stuff. But like I always am watching small streams, so they're like one of my favorites to watch because I like the small communities and I like everything that goes on in it.
That's so awesome.
I like the wholesomeness of. I mean, I'm not saying big communities aren't wholesome, but like it's a different vibe in a small stream, so I love it.
Definitely. Yeah, even for me, like when I look at someone like the suit, like the ones where the chats are flying and the streamers can't even read them, for some reason I feel like your channel is the perfect size in that it is massive. There's a massive viewership and subscriptionship, but still you can follow everything, and still like I know you're able to like you recognize your viewers by their names and stuff, and that's something I learned from you to do that as well, where I do that here.
Yeah, I memorize like the color of their name and their name. Like it helps me. Like if I'll see their name and it clicks. So it's like it's hard to keep up with everyone though.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like whenever I've got a long time viewer that changed the color of their name, I can't recognize them. Like, what did you do? Why did you do that?
My biggest pet peeve is when a mod changes their name.
That's I've got some of those in here.
I'm like, listen, you don't change your name when you're a mod, man.
Yep,
no, but I love to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I need to show you what's waiting here. I'm not gonna contaminate because we're still in like world. I do. That's amazing. Everybody see that?
Guys, Kiichi gave me this right here.
This thing is also waiting for you. I'll make sure I don't like contaminate the guitar itself, although I'm not
I got a
affected,
ton of Lysol, bro. Don't worry.
All right, good. So this, I was so excited because you said how you wanted to learn banjo, so we got this thing already ready for you. Actually, I might have to touch a little bit. I might have to touch
fine.
a little bit.
I'm gonna Lysol it, bro. I'm an expert at it. Guys, Kiichi's so nice. Oh my gosh.
There it is.
What's the back look like? Is it open? Oh, it's closed. Nice. That's awesome.
Ooh.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So this thing, I got this for you before the lockdown, and then the lockdown happened. So
I'm gonna pick it up today.
Okay.
I'm heading into Orlando today later, so I'm just gonna obviously stay away. You just leave it on your front door.
Yeah, you need to be learning that. And so there's an extra pack of strings in there too. I tried to play it before the lockdown happened when I first got it, and I could not figure it out. I was like, I don't know how to do this. So
it's gonna be so hard for me.
You'll get it. It'll be awesome. You should do it on your just chatting sections.
I'll try when I get better.
So let's go back to the middle a little bit. So we've gotten from the beginning to now. But what sort of music were you into growing up? Like, take us through like the first couple of bands you heard and like progressing upwards and what you like now.
Oh, let me think real quick. I was into rap music growing up. I did a couple talent shows, to rap music.
With you doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's amazing.
Yeah, hopefully there's no footage of it.
I hope there is. I want to see that.
But I was into everything always. Anything that sounds good was good to me.
Yeah.
I liked rock, metal, punk, rap, everything basically. Country. Some country.
That's awesome. How old were you when you did the talent show?
I was in middle school.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, embarrassing.
No. I mean, I'm sure. I remember in 7th grade, I did one. It was me playing "Self-Esteem" by The Offspring, and I was wearing.
Oh, I love that song.
That was the era of the button-up shirts, but they were really big, like very like late 90s, like early 2000s. But it was like that optical illusion stripes. I think it was horizontal stripes. Yeah, I think vertical stripes is modern. I can't remember which one's which. Horizontal's modern, but it's vertical stripes, so it looked like super can't hardly wait era teen movie. Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. And the band name was called, I think it was Vertigo or The Vertigo.
Yeah, I love that.
It was pretty embarrassing.
So that was your entry into wanting to become a musician?
Yeah, that was like the first thing I ever did in 7th grade. And then 8th grade, I played a Metallica cover. It was just me and a drummer. And then I was asked to try out for the band.
I love that.
So I've been in since 13 years old, I think now. So
That's
21
insane.
years.
That's insane.
Yeah, man. First band, first job. But this is technically the second job, but I love it. And I'm just doing the same thing.
And you're incredible at it.
Oh, stop it. Thank you so much.
I mean
Thank you. Thank you. Well, one of the pieces of advice you gave me that was amazing, we were talking about earlier when we were playing with Heafy and yourself, you told me like when you kind of let go and you stopped thinking about like overly obsessing about viewer counts, overly obsessing about a number and a quota is you felt when your channel really started doing well. And I feel like the same thing happened to me because I kept looking at viewer counts and I always tell new streamers like, don't look at that. Look at just like having fun. Yeah. And so I kept staring at it and it would bring me down. I'd be worried about it. Finally, when you told me that. It can
affect your mood.
Yep.
It's hard not to look at it because like as a streamer, you want to do well, and it's like, I'm not immune to it either. I've been streaming for like 8 years. So, you want to grow and you want to see yourself doing well. So it's not terrible to look at it, but like to obsess over it is terrible to do. You're like, it's okay to look, in my opinion, it's okay to look and be like, okay, we're doing good. Maybe like a couple hours in, maybe you need to pick up your enthusiasm, because it can help, it can gauge your stream a bit, like sometimes if I see my views going down, maybe I like catch myself and I'm like, well, maybe I'm not like being as entertaining as I should be and I should pick it up a little bit. But I definitely don't like look all the time. I don't try to like, am I dropping viewers? Am I dropping viewers? You don't want to get into that mode because it's dangerous.
Yeah, because so when you told me that, and I started looking at it more of like, all right, just have fun with it and just let it be. That's really around the time where it started picking up as well here. Yeah. So I think you've been like a really great mentor. Thank you so much, man. You've been a real big inspiration for this. I know, like I say it, and I don't just say it to be like as complimentary, but I truly mean it. You really have inspired me to want to do this because I've seen your schedule and your regiment with the way you do it, and I've always liked schedules and regiments, so I've done it to myself here. That's why I'm super excited. People can finally get to know the DK that I know. It's like we got to know each other pretty well, like off stream, which is really awesome. So I like that people get to hear you chatting here. That's why I was looking for interviews of you. I was like, has he ever done like
I did one a long time ago. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Fun. I like doing this.
Yeah, it's fantastic, man. Especially with now, we got used to our Wednesdays of gaming in the morning, food in the afternoon. So it's been weird. Like it all shut down at the same time as I was getting ready for tour.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So speaking of which, we're talking about food. What are some of the favorite things that you've ever eaten in your life recently? It doesn't have to. Yeah.
King Cajun.
Damn, that's awesome. That's awesome.
No, it really is.
Yeah.
I was on keto, so I didn't even get to experience like the potatoes and all the goods, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, that was honestly, it was like a 10 out of 10 experience.
Damn, man, I love.
If anyone doesn't know, Kichi took me to a restaurant. And he took a lot of people I know. We were like a group, and man, we all loved it. Like he showed us the best food. He shows us the best food in Orlando.
The one place I don't want to call him out because they'll be like, oh man, Matt doesn't like our food, but that I had that. I'm still talking about it. That fermented crab, man, that was too much for me. It felt like I swallowed a Jaeger shot, but the glass too, and it just sat there, and you could tell by my face. I think I just turned white. I was like,
I was so happy I didn't eat it.
I was so glad you didn't.
I know you were like, oh.
Dude, I was so glad you didn't, because that would have been like, hey man, you get some food. I'm all set. No thanks.
I would have been like, guys.
So we have Meme Dude in here. Meme Dude and Volition are two people, in addition to yourself, that I looked at as like really some of the reasons why I've done well here. Meme and Volition were the ones that said, hey, start streaming music, the guys I've mentioned you before. But his favorite restaurant in Orlando is also King Cajun.
Is it really?
So he's super stoked right when you call that out. Yeah,
it's the flavors, you know, like their sauce is insane.
I feel like the reason why they do so well too, because they do Cajun food really well, but the movement of Viet Cajun, like Vietnamese style Cajun, I think it just makes it all the better, because you get that like kind of interesting Asian flavor in there, and you also got to have your first Vietnamese stuff with me as well in Orlando.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things in life, is like to be able to take someone somewhere new they've never been, and I've only really been able to experience that with yourself and our drummer Alex. It's like Alex also hadn't been around a lot of international stuff, so
I've never been to anywhere in Orlando.
Yeah, we're both very lucky. We've got a good food scene. And what's great about where we live, for everyone that's like, I'm not going to give away like our neighborhoods or anything, but what's great about like Central Florida is that it's that perfect balance of small town and big city. I feel like either direction, I wouldn't be overly happy. Like I feel like I wouldn't get enough at a small town. And I'd be too living on top of everyone else in big city.
Yeah.
Who are some of your like maybe streamer idols or gamer idols, or like who are some people that you looked up getting into this?
I look up to CD in the Third. I absolutely love his stream. I love like everything about his like personality to his community. I like that he plays like a variety of games. You know, like I live vicariously through that, because I don't do variety really, because I'm just such a stickler for like, I like my whole life since I've been gaming. I stick to a game even before streaming. I just like love playing that game until it dies. I don't know why. That's just the way I am, because I just fall in love with the game, you know. So
yeah,
but I like other. But C's, man, he's just I discovered his stream in H1Z1. He was doing H1. People probably know like H1Z1 is just, it was insane watching him create content, because I never seen someone do something like what he was doing. It was just so good.
What was he doing differently there?
He was engaging with so when H1Z1 came out, it was a survival game at first, and he would almost, it wasn't like full on role play, but he would get involved with people playing the game, and he would do things like where he would have to trust someone, like he would turn his back to him and they turn, you know what I mean, like do like silly things, you know, or he would do what's it called, like Simon Says. He'd get everyone in line doing Simon Says. It was just insane. Like he's doing this in a survival game, you know?
Damn, that's awesome.
It was magical.
I love that you love Random Squad so much. Now,
oh my God, yeah.
Why do you love that so much? I love that you love it, but
well, first off, my stream loves it the most. That's why I push for it, because I've always worked in like retail or like serving tables, and I'm just like, people, when I talk to new people is where I thrive. Like meeting new people is the best when I'm at my best, because I don't know why. I just how I've always been. So, you know, you take that in Random Squads and then people know me. It's like, you know, it's kind of like a magical experience, because people are excited to meet me, which I think is crazy. And then I'm actually good socially with people. You know, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but you know, I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy talking to people. So
that's been the most fun thing for me. Like I am not a great gamer. I'm especially not good at Fortnite. I love Fortnite, but my favorite thing, like I said this morning, has been just chatting with you. Like I feel like your platform, when you got randoms going, when you're playing with other streamers, when you're playing with up and coming streamers or non-streamers, it's essentially like what I love about a podcast, and that's what your channel is. And I think
Yeah.
part of that inspired this as well, like wanting to talk to people over a platform. So like, I feel like that's just such a great thing that you've built that other layer on top. Like you're not just playing games with people sometimes. I mean, sometimes like you and I, we've played games with people like, all right, we're not really, there's no like conversation here like with these other guys, but with you, with Heafy, like we've been able to really get to know each other. Yeah.
That's why I kept it a trio. Like I was like, let's just do trios. Because sometimes you add people in the mix and, you know, like it can get different, you know? So you got to be with people that you really mesh with, you know? That's why I invited Heafy, you know? I was like, because I knew we'd do well. You know, like I say these things behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But I just know that we're gonna mesh well and we're gonna talk. You know, like you and Heafy were, you know, you guys talk a lot and it's awesome to listen to. Like I love listening to it. So
yeah, sometimes I want to rename him because his name is so chill, but he's such like an incredible like killer at the game.
He's one of the top players in my opinion. Like
dude,
he's just so crazy.
It's nuts
in the sense of like, you know, like obviously like people like Mongrel and Mr. Savage, you know, like they're the top of the top. But like Heafy, the way he can play so well and also like be entertaining is, you know, it's a rare skill.
I'm blown away by like how Fortnite has transcended of just being a game. And like I've asked you before, it's so weird on YouTube. You'll see people making their own content off streamers' content, but then like making like, I don't know, essentially making their own content out of what people are playing, what people are saying, what people are doing. Like, what's your take on what Fortnite has become?
You mean like in the sense that people just kind of like rip clips and post clips?
Yeah,
and
a little bit of that in
like
the negative sense. In the negative and the positive sense. Like that now gamers, I think more because of Fortnite than anything, are like the new rock stars or the new DJs or the new celebrities because of gaming, because of Fortnite, in my opinion.
Me personally, like I don't have anything negative on it other than if people like I don't have anything negative on it if people don't try to clickbait in a very negative way. And I'll give you an example. Like one time I told the story where like I had heart surgery in my life and the doctors basically either I was allergic to morphine or they gave me too much morphine, you know, and I went into a coma. And someone like clickbaited it that I overdosed on morphine. Like they tried to clickbait it as if I was taking morphine like in my room or something, you know what I mean? So like it got like 2 million views or something like that. And it was like, you know, people when you clickbait like that, that's like, in my opinion, that's like really wrong, you know. But like if you're just using clips, I don't have a problem with that kind of stuff because yes, people are making money off your content, but I don't know, like it's exposure and they're not like I don't know. It's such a line, you know.
I feel the same way about like, you know, when people are like, oh, Shroud's playing your music on a stream. Like I was super excited about that. Like you and I have talked about how it's not logged in the way that it could be for Twitch and for music. It's and that's why a lot of people have asked about that. But like I look at the same way that you look at that, which is really cool.
Like
but
it's not really like a 6-minute clip. Like if it's like a 10-minute clip of my stream, there's a problem there. But if it's like a 30-second or like 10-second of snipe, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's like they're showing off clips.
It's so interesting because like even me being a fan of the game, like I know all these gamers and streamers names because of Fortnite. Like I feel like this is the first game that's ever really happened with. I mean, there's been a little bit obviously with like CS:GO and stuff, but I feel like as far as like a cultural explosion where like 5 to 12-year-olds will be able to name drop. Like I watch Dakotaz. I watch, you know, and they talk about like which guys they watch. I watch Mongrel. I watch Symphony. I think that's amazing. I think that's so cool. It's like it's giving them, it's showing them that there's a whole nother field. There's like, I remember when I was talking about how I want to be in a band when I grow up, people would always be like, oh yeah, but what's your real job going to be? Like, what are you going to do when you're done with this? I'm like, this is what I've always wanted to do. And that's so great that you've like laid that frontier, that new frontier as well of what else you can do in life.
Yeah, kind of got lucky, you know. I didn't think Twitch was going to go down this route. Like when I joined it, I was just fascinated with people wanting to watch people on camera while like playing video games. It was like it reminded me of like gladiators almost. Like it's almost like you're, you know, like we're gladiators and people are watching us battle, you know, like in a way, you know what I'm saying? We're entertaining crowds.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved it.
That's so cool. That's so cool. So what have you been doing while this whole world has been shut down? Like, have you had to change anything? Not necessarily.
I've been just hanging out, you know, drinking a lot of coffee. I started renovations in my place when it started, and I had to cancel a lot because people didn't want to come in, and plus I didn't want them to come. You know, I didn't want to make things awkward. So like I'm literally living in a place that has nothing in it, like
Damn.
but a bed in like a stream room, you know. So it's like
So
I don't have a kitchen.
There's no kitchen.
No kitchen, no living room. So like I'm living in COVID with nothing.
Oh my gosh.
But beef jerky.
Dude, that's nuts. Have you still been because a lot of us were following and we're really stoked for you. You said you're no longer on keto right now.
No longer on keto, no. I couldn't keep up with it. Like I'm still working out and walking every day, and I'm still eating pretty healthy, but I couldn't stay on top of keto because I just
You still have the fridge too?
I don't have anything.
No fridge.
No fridge.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, we gotta get you a fridge back in the house.
Okay. I'll be okay.
Yeah. That's nuts, man. That's nuts.
Yeah.
So when you're not streaming, what are some of your favorite things to do? Is it, because I mean, you give a lot of yourself for your streams. It's long hours. So how do you like to decompress after like a long stream day?
I just like to hang out and chill. That's it.
Yeah.
Just maybe watch some streams, just listen to music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do a whole lot with COVID, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't do a lot before either. I'm really like just I like to just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to this being done because we were having such awesome times exploring all the food cultures out here. We got to get you to a show. Once we get shows back, you got to come out to a show.
I'm going to a show, 100%.
All that stuff.
100%.
You've got me into some awesome music. What's weird is like the first place we ever ate together was Ravenous Pig. That was the first time we ever hung out. First time we ever met in person.
I remember.
Yeah, and you were like, man, they've been playing the Shins a lot, and I was like, I haven't really heard the Shins.
I remember that. I was at the table. I'm like the second song was the Shins. I was like, okay, they like the Shins. That's cool. And then there's like 4 times they played the song. I was like, this is weird. This place like only plays the Shins, man.
You and Ashley got me into them, and now that's like one of the few bands that we have playing all the time for the kids.
I love that. Such a good band.
You've also mentioned Tallest Man on Earth, I think is the band.
Yeah,
so what are some of your favorite bands? Like what are some bands that you dig? The Verns, Tallest Man on Earth.
Yeah, the Tallest Man on Earth is I like his music. He's kind of like a solo artist.
That's the one with the video you sent me, the guy who did the banjo version.
Yeah.
That song's amazing. That's the one you got to learn first.
It's cool because I've been watching, he's been doing streams on like YouTube, and it's cool to watch. Like he'll do like, he just does like a set, like he'll play an album, kind of like you play your music. And I just love that musicians you were tapped in it from the beginning, but I like that since COVID happened, a lot of musicians are starting to like use this as an outlet to reach out to like, their fans and people that listen to them. So it's cool to see that.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like
you were ready for it, huh?
Yeah, I was ready because we're doing all our interviews for a new record, and every interviewer's been like, "Oh, so what are you doing now that life is so different for band guys?" I was like, "Man, I've had the infrastructure set up for 2.5 years, and now I've got so many band guy friends that want to jump in. Like, dude, all the webcams are sold out, all USB microphones are sold out.
Really?
Yeah, it's like almost impossible to get started in a way that we've got streams that look like yours and mine. But I tell them, it's like the best thing you do is just start immediately." Right. Use your phone, use your built-in webcam on your laptop. Just go for it. Don't feel like you have to set all this stuff 100%. Up.
Just start warming up to it.
Yep.
I started with a really bad microphone and camera. My setup was awful, and then a streamer donated $500 to me to get a new mic, a new headset, and like new keyboard and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his name was Paperbat. He still streams to this day. Like his name's Pbat. Yeah, I'll never forget that. It's kind of crazy, amazing. Like how Twitch. Like that's what I love about Twitch. Like that guy didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? He came in, he donated, and like I'll never forget stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
He literally helped my stream grow because the quality was improved.
That's so cool. I love how you do that. I love how you remember all the people that were there early on, because that's something that like I always try to bring up the people. Like what I love about your mentality is the same that my band has, and that we feel like we should always be shouting out like the new up and coming generations that we believe in, because when everyone rises up, we rise up as well, versus trying to just be the singular like I'm the best and I'm not going to shout any of these other people out. And that's what's really great for this. So like I've had a lot of musicians asking me like what to do here, and like I've been trying to help them out with their setups, but I think the biggest thing, and you already know this because it is the Twitch ethos, it's the connection with community, is the authenticity of like what you love. Like you love playing Fortnite, you love like the interaction, the communications, and that really shows through. And I think that's why so many people are so gravitated towards your stream.
Yeah, I'm thankful.
It's amazing.
I feel like use a camera when I stream.
And so you used to use a camera when you first started, right? And why did you decide to pull back? I know why, but I'm sure people are wondering. I think it's really cool that even without a camera, you still feel like your channel is super approachable. Like, I love that.
The main reason that I stuck with it was because I liked the idea of a podcast. Well, there's several reasons to why my camera came off. And one I won't say out of respect for the other person, but I will say a few reasons are one reason is because I noticed that people would come into my stream and they'd seek a reaction out of me, and I just didn't like that feeling. I didn't like people coming in and saying something toxic just to see how I reacted to it. I was like, I don't like that, but I had tough skin. I was a server for like 6 years. So, like, it's not like it really affected me. And then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to just be a voice, and I just want people to be like immersed in my gaming while we're talking. And if I'm playing with people, it's just like people are focused on the conversation and they're not looking at like reactions. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think it's great to see reactions, I think there's all sorts of amazingness in all types of streams. So I'm not saying there's no wrong or right way, but for me it was the right way. Like, I just felt good. And also, like, I always tell people that I can be kind of crazier with my camera off. Like, I always tell people, like, that feeling when you go into a bathroom and you shut the door and like no one's there, no one's looking, you can be yourself completely. Like, sometimes you do stupid stuff in the mirror. Maybe not when you're older, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying?
I do dumb things all the time. Yeah. I know people aren't looking.
So, like, that's what it's like. I turn my camera off and I can just be this crazy person that I really am, honestly.
That's awesome. This is probably the least metal thing in the world I've ever said publicly, although I always do. There's a phrase for that, and it's from Sex and the City: super secret single behavior. And there was an episode of Sex and the City, and people were like, dude, Matt, why are you always shouting out things that just make you sound not cool? But I remember there was an episode where the ladies were talking about that. And they're like, what is your super secret single behavior? And yeah, it's like, it's funny. I like that. That's amazing. And
that's good.
I think it's so interesting. And I'm just going to keep complimenting you because I like to do that because I feel like you deserve it. But it's so cool that even though you don't have a face cam, your stream feels more approachable than other places. Like, I feel like there are some streamers, like, where I was talking about how kind of like it's cool because there's like this like rock star status of streamers, but there are some that have become like this unattainable thing. Same like music. Like, I look at people that are like super flashy with the music world, like, hey, here's me in my 5 private jets, and like things that become unattainable for the viewer. But what's so cool is even though you don't have a face cam, it still feels like you could be chilling with anybody. Like, you feel like everyman streamer, which I love, and I hope that I have that too. I think I've got that as well for what I've got going on. But I think it's so cool 100%. That you have that. Yeah. So you mentioned the server stuff. What are the jobs you had from first job up until you started streaming, and when did Twitch kick off?
Okay, my first job ever, I lived in Westline, Michigan, and there's a place called Mickey's Golf Course. It was like Top Golf, like, just hitting balls and, them going far. And I think I was like 5, and what would happen was like, our parents would come, and it'd be like a community thing. And like all the kids would go out on the fields and collect all the balls. And, he would pay us like $5 each, and it literally put work ethic in me at a young age. Like, it made me see the value of like working, making money, and getting to go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee, with my own money. It felt awesome, So that's where I started my whole like working. But that didn't, it wasn't like intense, and it was just kind of something fun. And then my first job ever was I worked at like it was called Movie Gallery, but it's a Blockbuster, basically. Which I love that I worked at a Blockbuster. I used to not love it,
Yeah,
but
I think that's awesome.
I can tell people that I worked a job that doesn't exist anymore. Like, it literally doesn't exist. Yeah. And you can't say that with a lot of jobs. Like, I worked something that will never be again, basically.
Yep. And I think if you mentioned the concept to like a 20-year-old right now, that wouldn't make any sense. Like, it's a place where you paid money to rent VHS.
Yeah. I worked there forever, man. And the worst part about that job was people coming in saying that their movies were not late. They'd be like, yeah, I dropped it off yesterday. I'm like, oh, bro, I work every single day. Like, because I was here and I do my job good. So.
I'll never forget the rewind fees. Like, if you didn't rewind the tape, it'd be like $3 or like $3.50, which is nuts. Because like also 20-year-olds would be like, what is rewinding? Yeah.
What's so funny? I have people come to my stream sometimes, and like some people who lived in the town, they'll actually remember me as like I'll get people that remember me being at that movie gallery working there, and
that's amazing.
Crazy. Yeah, they're like, yeah, bro, you had spiked hair, bro. I remember you. Or I get people like, I worked at an ale house. My next job was an ale house, and which people don't know, that's like it's kind of sports bar wing restaurant. I worked there for about 6 years.
How old were you then?
I think I was like 22 when I started. I worked on International Drive, like at the
Oh, this when you moved down to Florida. When did you move down to Florida from Michigan?
When I was like 11.
I think I moved to Florida when I was 11 too.
Yeah, I've been here a while.
Yeah.
I used to live in Michigan.
What was the city again in Michigan?
I lived in Westland.
Westland, cool.
It's kind of like near Detroit.
Cool. Yeah, we used to play Harpo's all the time. I think you would have been too young to ever go to Harpo's at that time, but Harpo's is like one of the sketchiest clubs in the States. And I'm sure Harpo's is really mad that I'm saying this right now, but like notoriously bands would always get mugged if they like walked off their bus and try to get food. Yeah, it's like a really, really rough club. I don't know if they fixed it, but I think everyone from that area was like, yeah, that club's rough.
Stay away.
So there's a point where like, all right, we're not playing Harpo's anymore. So we switched to always playing to Royal Oak, which is like kind of close to that. All right, so Ale House, and then what was the next step from there? Were you already streaming? You weren't streaming yet at this point.
No, I wasn't streaming. I also worked at a ski resort in Tahoe.
Yeah.
Like a season. Like it was very short. Didn't work out that well. I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
But from Movie Gallery and to Ale House, and then Ale House, I was streaming when I was working at Ale House. And then eventually I just quit serving because like streaming, I was making more money streaming at a certain point. I was like, I can't do both of them. It's like I'm literally dying. I'm like so tired, trying to maintain both of them. The grind. So I quit Ale House and went full-time streaming, and then went full into that. I think I was like 26 or no 27. I don't know, sometime.
Yeah. Up until about, let's say 9 to 12 months ago, you were doing like 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah, I was doing crazy hours.
And how long were you doing that for? You're doing that for a couple years.
I did it for 2 years straight, I think. About 2 years I did about 11-hour streams, I'd say average, every day, 11 hours.
I mean, that work ethic is something that's not really heard of in music, because now that I've been having a lot of interviewers asking me, like, all right, so what's Twitch? And a lot of bands think it's just like playing a show once, not really talking to chat, not really doing anything specific. It's just like this live version of YouTube. And I'm like, that's not what it is. Yeah. And when I've mentioned the work ethic, and when I say like, I do 3 to 6 hours a day, and they're like, well, that's a lot. It's like, no. Like the pros, these guys are used to doing 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah. But
that work ethic is intense.
I would say 6 hours of streaming is a lot, honestly. Because it takes a lot. It's not just like you're playing video games. It takes a lot mentally to read everything and stay connected with people. And like, if I end a 6-hour stream, like my brain is fried, it's like, cause you're constantly talking, thinking, interacting, reading subs, reading alerts. Like there's a lot going on during a stream that some people may not realize.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're also trying to be good. You don't want to be bad at the game. So
yeah,
like it takes a lot of mental focus.
Like me. I got to work on it. What is some advice you would give to streamers in general? Because I feel like your advice transcends just game streaming. I feel like it would work for musicians as well. Like just a couple, like one,
TikTok.
2. Yeah.
Right now, TikTok's really good for growing.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like that's a platform I don't use at all either.
You should. I don't post enough on it either, so I'm at fault too. But like TikTok has so much growth right now that like there's streamers who are blowing up on Twitch because of TikTok.
Really?
Yes.
Is TikTok just like mini music videos? Is that all it is?
You can do anything you want on there. You can do gaming videos. Like I have videos that blow up to 1 million views on TikTok, and it's just like a Fortnite clip, like a 20-second clip.
Man.
Yeah. So and then like sometimes if I get a clip that blows up on TikTok, I'll gain like 40,000 followers from that video alone.
What?
I know. I need to post
nuts, man. Holy cow! I thought it was purely just like mini music video clips.
And I know a lot of people probably thinking out there that like, oh my God, not TikTok, it's cringy. Oh my God. But it's not like old dancing, and you shouldn't ever limit yourself when it comes to business or growth, Like there's a lot of people that have like a mentality like I'm never touching TikTok, like cringy kids, blah, blah, blah. It's like, why would you ever limit yourself when that potentially could skyrocket you, to wherever.
You've been really ahead of the curve too with this stuff, because I remember when I was gaming with you, when I first started gaming with you, you brought in Yellow and you were telling both of us about hashtagging your Fortnite clips. I remember that's what I learned. I learned that from you. Yep. And I started applying that to like my music stuff, and I would have band guys talk to me like, man, you're really on top of this clip game, even because I would learn the stuff from you and apply it to music, apply it to something I'm actually good at, and it really helped me out a lot.
Yep.
So it's really cool how you've been super forward with that. Really?
Yeah, because TikTok is so big.
Damn. Yeah, because I noticed it's not the same with Instagram clips for like a game like Valorant or a game like Overwatch. It's absolutely not clips like Fortnite.
But if you posted Valorant and stuff on TikTok, it could blow up. You never know.
Damn. Do you use the clips like you would? You download it or you get it set up off your computer up to Instagram, up to TikTok?
Yeah, just same thing. Same
exact thing.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I guess I'm starting a TikTok tonight.
So
TikTok, and what else? What else would you say about like community chat, like that kind of stuff? How integral is it to be like viewer chat? Because that's, I feel, pretty up there.
Like as a beginner streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Like my tips to a beginner streamer would be, well, it's really hard to start on Twitch because when you start, you might have no viewers, and it's can be discouraging to have nobody talking to you. So maybe invite a couple friends, invite your family. Even if you tell them just to hang out a little bit, anything to get you from the 0 viewer count. You don't want to be 0. And if I was starting right now, I'd make a TikTok. I would play random squads. When I win a squad game with people, only when I win, I would say, hey, I'm streaming, by the way, if you want to, like, if you share an experience, you become kind of connected with them. You just let them know you're streaming. You never know, that person might come in and stick around, add people, try to make friends and network through Fortnite to grow your Twitch. I mean, I don't know what other game you would do that to. I'm just saying if I was doing Fortnite, being consistent, always stream the same times. It's important. So some people get away with not doing that, but if you're a beginner streamer, you want people to know that you're going to be on this time always,
Definitely.
But it's so hard to grow on Twitch.
It is. Because I mean, it was only up until a couple months ago. Like, I feel like even my channel started really taking off. Like, it was like 3 months ago. Yeah. It takes a long time, and there'll be like ebbs and flows. It's like what?
It's kind of like Hollywood. You go out to LA, you want to make it big, but you might not. And but if you keep at it, I do believe if you are like, you truly love it and you keep at it, I do believe like when the moment comes, like you'll hit it big, just be ready for it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, I've said it all morning. I'm going to say it again. Like, the stuff I learned from you really helped prepare me for this as well.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when I first started, I wasn't really even able to fully be myself. Like, I felt like I was still, because like stage me is supposed to be intense. Like, I'll add in humor, or like stage me is like, not that it's not me, but like it's like the full. Yeah, it's like kind of like, again, I'm not acting, but like exaggerating everything. So it's supposed to be intense. Yeah. And then here I was kind of like, all right, do I need to be more like proper? And then I just started being more like myself, just like funny and like letting loose. And I learned that from you. Yeah. And it's been really nice to be able to show this other side of who I really am.
I love that.
To the people that support it. And it's been so much more like liberating, like so much more free to just be able to like laugh. And like, if my voice cracks, I make a joke out of it. I turn it into a clip. I auto tune it. And like, I do dumb stuff. And it's been really nice, like, learning that authenticity by watching you do it. Yeah. And that's so awesome.
I think there's so many approaches on Twitch. You can become a persona, or you can just be yourself. I think like there's a thing for everything on Twitch.
Yep. And I've always gravitated towards people that I feel like I could relate to, people that I want to be at a dinner table with, like have a drink 100%. With, chat with. And that's why I feel like your channel does so well, because your community loves that. They love that connection. Speaking of communities and connections, I've been taking one viewer question during this. So everybody, let's get one great question from Mr. DK here, please.
I'm ready.
They gotta be good questions. Give me good questions. I'm gonna auto filter with my eyes.
Okay. I like that.
Because I know people are gonna want to ask some stuff. I'm just waiting here now. Friends, let's go. Let's go.
What do we have? Hit me with something good.
Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one. Song you are looking most forward to learn on the banjo.
It's called Shallow Grave.
That's the Tallest Man on Earth song that you sent me?
Yeah. He does a banjo version of it.
Yeah.
It's a really good song.
It is such an amazing version. I tried to find it on Spotify, but it seems like it's only on YouTube, that version.
Yep, only on YouTube.
Man, and it's so sad and epic.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
When you get that thing down, it's gonna be really sick.
I can't wait. I'm gonna play it. I'll play it for you. If I can learn it, bro. I mean, like, I'm not.
You'll do it. You'll do it. Let's do one more. Does DK like the Abbott brothers?
Yeah, I like the Avid Brothers. Yeah, I don't listen too often, but I do like them if I hear their music.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really like your vibe of music. Like you're into like indie and indie folk. It seems that's the same stuff that we usually have playing in the house. Because I mean, like my kids like metal. Like when they hear metal, they usually yell out "Dada." They assume it's my stuff. Like if I'm playing heavy stuff. But to hear like indie and indie folk, like that's generally what we've got playing in the house. And I still, when this stuff's over and we're back to eating, and you know banjo, you play banjo, I play acoustic guitar. We should seriously let's try and make it one song.
I'm down.
I think we should, man. I think we should. We spent all this time with games and food. I think we do it. Yep. I could teach you to sing too. I could teach you.
I'm not the vocals, bro.
I could teach you. All right. So I like to finish this usually with a food thing again. So we mentioned King Cajun. What's another dish? It could be recent. It could be when you were a kid. Either favorite thing you ate, just something that really sticks out in your mind aside from King. It could be recent too. It could be anything.
I'm thinking.
If you don't have, I think I've got one for you.
Okay.
If you don't, but I'll see if you can.
Oh, I like green bean casserole.
Awesome. I do too.
Like my grandma's, you know.
Yeah. Does she do with Ritz crackers on top? That's how my mother-in-law does it.
Well, she does like the onions, you know, like the dried onions on top.
Oh
like
yeah. Wait, I got mine mixed up with broccoli casserole. Broccoli casserole is one with Ritz crackers.
Yeah. Green bean casserole, I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that super like comfort food Southern style stuff.
Same.
Do they do that kind of? So they do that kind of stuff up in Michigan, like kind of like Midwest stuff. Kind of similar.
Yeah, they do it.
Yeah.
My family's from Kentucky, so you know.
Oh dang.
Yeah, from like South Carolina and Kentucky. So
yeah.
We got that Southern.
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. So, when I'm on stage, I pick up a Southern accent. It doesn't make any sense because I'm half
Southern
Japanese.
Accent.
Yeah, how y'all doing tonight? Like I think I get it from
my family gets together. I start talking more Southern.
Yep. I definitely get it. I get it from my father-in-law. He's like super Southern.
It's funny when you're around people how like your accent can like kind of mesh with them, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything else that you want the world to know? Yes, everyone's already following you. This. Oh yeah, everybody check it out. Dakotaz's first tattoo. It
was from Kiichi's tattoo artist, so he got me in.
I'm so happy you got it. But now you're hooked. You gotta get the full sleeves. Sleeves is next.
I'm
Dakotaz sleeves.
Not a sleeve. I don't know about a sleeve, but more tattoos.
Okay. Now you're gonna do sleeves. I know it. I know you're.
Have you ever showed your stream like?
I need to do like
You've
a
never
collection.
Showed them?
No, well, I got to make sure I don't show the front too much to get TOS'd on myself. But I think my back's okay.
Yeah,
but what's crazy? It's crazy. So for our new record, we're doing the promo stuff. Mm-hmm. We finally were guaranteed a cover off a magazine we haven't been on the cover of in ages, and it's a full like back nude one. So it's like my butt. It's like that's supposed to be the cover.
Someone in the chat said we seen his butt.
Yep. I posted on Instagram multiple times, but it's being a freaking magazine. I was like excited about it.
That's awesome.
Because of this stuff, they're pulling the physical cover.
No.
Yeah. And then we asked if we can use the photo, and they said no. I was like, dude, that's my butt. I can't use a photo.
That's your butt, bro.
The photo looks so good too. So I don't know what's gonna happen with it. I was really bummed about that. I wanted my butt to be on a magazine.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I got shut down. Well, dude, absolute pleasure, Dakotaz. Thank you so much. Let's keep our Wednesdays going so we can stay in touch.
Always.
As soon as this is over, we're getting food. If you want to come grab the guitar today, just let me know. I'll be here. I'll shoot you my address and DM. All right, man. Dakotaz, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, DK. Great to see you, my friend. Stay in touch, man. Take care, Dakotaz.
Bye.
Later.